What is up, the Lions fans? It's your boy Motor City Don P, and we are back once again. I got my cup. I ain't got no drink in it. Yeah, I'm running late today, but you already know what it is when you see me on your TV in front of your screen. The Motor City Cats are back at it. Came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we've got some things that we're going to get into today. We're going to be talking about my man Jamo, bro. But before we get into Jamo, man, let's make sure that you like, subscribe, and you share. You like it, you subscribing, and you share it. If you're talking, you subscribing. Okay? If you're liking, you're sharing. If you're sharing, you're liking. If you're doing all that, you're keeping your Lions news pragmatic. We've got the Jamo topic. And I hope that there are people out there who are going to come in today and they're going to believe that we're about to be throwing Jamo under the bus. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be going, see, I told you Jamo wasn't ish. I told you he wasn't no good. What did he do now? What did Jamo do now? The answer is nothing, actually. The answer is actually nothing. It's Salty Pork Chops. What up, though? Tactical Sport. What up, though? What up, though? Mark Garcia. He says, they say, what happened now? Actually, nothing happened. Actually, nothing happened at all. But you see, Jameson Williams apparently is a very easy target. There are people out there in the media who attribute everything to Jameson Williams. They create stories out of things that did not happen. They create stories out of things that Jameson Williams didn't say out of his own mouth. They create stories out of things that the organization has not said about Jameson Williams. Case in point, Mike Payton. Y'all remember Mike Payton? Was it a couple months ago when he had this whole thing about how Jamo was getting traded? And he was probably going to be traded this year. He was going to probably be traded. I'm sorry. It wasn't even a couple months ago because it was before the draft. It was before the draft, which was in April, the end of April. So April, May, June. So about 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Okay. Jameson Williams is going to be traded on draft night to some team for some pick. And we're gonna draft Matthew Golden. Okay, so even back in at the time, okay, when he was saying stuff like that, it just made no goddamn sense. Okay, he said it used to be good. A to Z used to be, Mike Payton used to be good. Said, I'm a Jamo supporter, but F your thumbnail if nothing happened. What do you mean? He's an easy target. Let me get to it, Salty Pork Chops. I don't clickbait. He is an easy target. Okay? Taylor May, what up, though? He says, there are cats out there who can't wait for Jameson Williams to be behind bars some damn where. Facts. All right. So Jameson Williams can't keep his name out of the headlines, but he ain't the one putting it in the headlines. I could understand if it was a Jamo thing. Jamo has done nothing. Jamo is at home getting ready for training camp. But someone believes that he's not getting ready for training camp. Let me go ahead and pull up this article that I have for y'all. Okay. This article is from Sideline Report. Yes, with Mike Luciano, okay? It says, big name could be missing from Lions training camp, and it's not who you think. Okay, so shout out to Taylor Made Media. Yesterday, you said something about Jamo and the Jets paying their young stars. I wasn't aware, okay, that Garrett Wilson had got a deal. I was thinking of Sauce Gardner. That's why I answered your question the way I answered it. Okay. So I'm thinking Sauce Gardner because he just got the bag. He got $30 million. I didn't even know Garrett Wilson had just got a deal. Okay. And this is all what this is about. Because Garrett Wilson got a deal. Now Jamo is going to start cutting up, apparently, according to Mike Luciano. Okay. Let me pull your chat back up. Okay. Yes. Salty Pork Chops, they did both get a deal. Once I saw this article, I did realize that both of them got a deal and wasn't just Sauce Gardner. Okay. So it says, big name could be missing from Lions training camp, and it's not who you think. Obviously, you think it's Tate Ratlage, and we already know that. Okay. That, as I said, that's going to be a story until it's not a story. Tate Ratlage is going to be a story, not signing his deal until he signs his deal. Because he's missing time. Okay? He's officially now missing time. It's Wednesday. Rookies report. That's done. Okay? All right. The Detroit Lions, like just about every other team with a second-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, are expecting their selection to sit out the early stages of training camp due to contract negotiations that are currently befalling everyone not named Jaden Higgins or Carson Schweschinger. Projected starting right guard. Okay. Now, just again, that's why I've been freaking out about this. Projected starting right guard. Projected starting. Not backup. Not second stringer, third stringer. Starter. Starter. You know when they say like you got the gangster starter pack, or you got the skateboard kids starter pack, you got the Karen starter pack, and they say all these like outfits and parts of the outfits and accessories that these people wear, right? You got the Karen starter pack, you got to have sunglasses and a cell phone, right? That's what you start with. You don't add it later. You begin with it. So they're projected to begin with Tate Ratlage at the right guard position. That's why this situation is extremely important, because he's projected to begin. From the beginning of training camp, he is the guy penciled in to be your starter. Does it make sense? Do you understand, Detroit Lions, why that's a big deal? It's not a small thing. Get him in camp. Sign him. It's $6.8 million over 4 years. $6.8 million over 4 years. That's just slightly under $2 million a year. Okay? A little bit more than slightly, but it's not even $2 million per year. Even if it was $2 million per year in the grand scheme of things in an NFL contract, what is $2 million? You can't guarantee $2 million. It's not even $2 million. What is it, like 1.75 or something like that around there? Okay, like it's not even $2 million. What's the problem? What the problem is. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get to y'all questions in a minute. All right. He said, I figured you weren't aware, but I'm 20 minutes from MetLife. Good call, and good catch. Appreciate you. So projected starting right guard Tate Ratlage has not signed his rookie contract. Rather than agreeing to a partially, albeit mostly guaranteed contract, the most second rounders that contract like most second rounders, Ratlage and the others are seeking the fully guaranteed deals Higgins and Schweschinger received. So again, the Houston Texans and then the Cleveland Browns gave a big FU middle finger to the rest of the league by doing this. Okay. And of course, the Cleveland Browns had to just tag along. We gave Deshaun a fully guaranteed contract. Now we're just going to come screw the rest of you guys because the Cleveland Browns are bitter. That's right. They're bitter because they suck. And they will always suck. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. All right. While the Lions are likely expecting Ratlage to miss some time as the situation gets resolved, there could be another holdout that upsets the apple cart. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is going to be eyeing a big payday after some recent NFL news. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is sitting at home on his couch, packing his bags, getting ready for camp. He's making a list and he's checking it twice. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is at home. He's playing Call of Duty. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is at the local Planet Fitness. No free sponsors. Okay, or LA Fitness or wherever. You know what I'm saying? He's at the facility getting his workout in. Wide receiver Jameson Williams is not out here like Najee Harris playing with fireworks. Wide receiver Jameson Williams has given no indication of any of this. So wide receiver Jameson Williams was getting ready to go to camp. And then yesterday some news came out and he was like, you know what? I ain't going to camp because I'm Jamo. And as Jamo, I'm supposed to be controversial. As Jamo, I'm supposed to do this stuff. So I'm going to hold out. Okay, let's go further. All right, the New York Jets agreeing to a contract with star wide receiver Garrett Wilson, who is also a member of the 2025 NFL draft class, was certainly seen by Williams and his team. It might not be unrealistic if he decides not to show up, all while asking for a deal that is close to what Wilson received, even if he doesn't earn $32.5 million per year. Should Garrett here's the problem with NFL contracts. Should Garrett Wilson be getting more money than a lot of people? Should Garrett Wilson be getting more money than AJ Brown? Should Garrett Wilson be getting more money than Amon-Ra St. Brown? Should Garrett Wilson be getting more money than insert wide receiver here? God damn it. Of course. All right, we back. It's gonna happen. So, it's just like this is the time for you to just, go get your coffee or it's nighttime for y'all. So probably most of you probably don't get coffee at night. I'll tell you something about me. I have a caffeine tolerance, so I can drink coffee and go to sleep. It does nothing for me. Okay. So maybe it's time for you to go get a nice little cup of water, or, what I'm saying, your favorite soft drink beverage, use some burners or some Fago, whatever it is. It's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I can't stop it. The only way I'm gonna be able to stop it is to get a new computer. Okay. And that is what it is. Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. What is this? Santana is back to business. Ay. He said, I used to drink a Monster to go to sleep in Iraq. Okay, I feel you. So we're on the same kind of level. The only thing that really works for me is Red Bull. Red Bull does give me a little bit of a boost. Everything else just tastes good. Monster tastes good. We got this thing over here called Mother. Do y'all have Mother? Mother tastes good. I got this rainbow sherbet one that I like. I got I had like a pack, a thing of 48. I got a bulk one from Costco. 48 of them. I still got like 1 or 2 left. I don't drink them every day, especially since I know they ain't doing nothing but putting a bunch of sugar in my body. But Red Bull is the only one that helps. Might be time to move off kangaroo cable. It's not. It's the computer, man. It just locks up. I have even gone as far sometimes as to restart the computer. Like if I get home in time, if I'm not just rushing out of the car like I was today, to restart the computer beforehand, and it still crashed. So it's like, nah, we got to crash at least once. That's how you know we're alive. Okay, that's how you know we're alive. We're alive and kicking when we crash. At least was. Um, all right, let me get back to what we were talking about with the Garrett Wilson stuff, and then we will. I'll get to your previous comments about the situation. Never heard of Mother. Mother might be an Australian situation, but it's like Monster, right? It's similar size, yeah, different branding, different logo, and all that, but it's similar product. All right. So we were talking about Garrett Wilson getting $32.5 million per year. Should Garrett Wilson be getting this money just because he's next up? At some point, like Tactical said, in the next 5 years, you're gonna see a reworking of contracts. There has to be a difference as to how things get made, how things get done. If you're not better than whatever receiver it is, and you're starting to see some of this now. Like I think Jettas is getting somewhere. Is he at 35? Somewhere around there, or 30? Like Garrett Wilson might actually, his AAV might be more than Jettas. I think Jamar just got like. Didn't Jamar just get like 40? Damn near 40? So it's like, okay, there's a difference in the situation like that, but I'm sorry, I'm not hating on anybody getting their money, but Garrett Wilson, 32.5 million for what? For what? Just because? Y'all ain't even got a quarterback. Why are you paying this wide receiver 32.5 million? Who's gonna throw him the football? Who? Justin, Justin Fields. Justin Fields is throwing Garrett Wilson the football. All right, we're gonna see how that works out. Anyway, Tiger, it was caffeine and nicotine in the drink. Why was nicotine in the drink? What does that have to do with energy? That sounds like an addiction waiting to happen. Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams could hold out after Garrett Wilson contract. After looking inept in his first 2 seasons, okay, we got to throw the shot. We've got to throw it's the obligatory Jameson Williams shot. After looking inept in his first 2 seasons in the pros, Williams exploded for 1,001 yards and 7 touchdowns. This comes in an offense with 2 1,000 yards rushers that was often chewing clock while also competing with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta for targets. Okay. You're making the point against yourself here. You're not making a point for yourself by saying he looked inept in his first 2 seasons. He had 1 good season. Now he's going to hold out because some dude got $32.5 million. Now, yes, this is a guy that he played with at Ohio State. Okay. And it's crazy that I'm such a Jamo fan but he rectified the situation. He made a poor choice and a poor decision to go to Ohio State. Then he left and went to Alabama. So I can appreciate anyone who does that. That's why like Charles Woodson is one of my favorite Wolverines, even though he's from Ohio, but he left the state of Ohio and came to Michigan to be our star, our stud, not theirs. You understand what I'm saying? And he hated Ohio State too. So I rocks with Charles Woodson. C Wood, my dog. Okay? All right. Inept, wasn't he hurt? Again, I told you, it's the obligatory Jamo shot. So whenever you are throwing Jamo's name into some BS like this, you also need to drag his name through the mud first. Oh, he was inept his first 2 seasons. No, he was unable to play because he was hurt. Okay? They were bringing him back slowly, and it seems as though it has worked, right? Okay. So I don't think he got into the 9th game of the season, and the first time he touched the ball was a goddamn touchdown. Like, are we understanding this? He completely blew by the defender. I think the defender slipped and fell because he wasn't ready for that speed, and he was wide open. And Jared Goff dropped it in there, and he sauntered into the end zone. His first touch in the NFL was a touchdown, but no, he was inept his first two seasons. Okay, cool. All right. Yes, I am the official keeper of the Jamo. Uh, Williams asking for $30 million per year might be a bit rich, especially since that is almost exactly what the superior Amon-Ra St. Brown received in his most recent contract extension. I don't like this man. Hold on. I'm going to be on the lookout for you. What's your name? What's your name? Mike Luciano. Okay, because he is. Do y'all see the undertones? Inept. Okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown is superior. I'm like, damn, tell us how you really feel without telling us how you really feel. What is all of this? What is all of this shade? Like, what are all of these strays that Jamo was catching? Lord have mercy. This Mike Luciano, is that his name? Hold on. Okay, Mike Luciano. He is one of those people that Taylor Made Media said there are cats that can't wait for Jamo to be locked up in some cell somewhere, behind bars somewhere. He said, I would say Goff dropped it in, kind of waffled his way. It got there, though. It got there. It was a bit underthrown. I would say that. Jamo did have to turn around and make the adjustment and catch it. Okay. So this man's catching all types of strays. Anyway, let me see here. Where does okay? So the superior Amon-Ra St. Brown received in his most recent contract extension, but it's hard to envision a world in which his hypothetical price tag is less than $25 million per season. The gap between Williams and backups like Tim Patrick and rookie Isaac Tesla could help him put the screws to a Lions team that is fresh off losing some big names from both their coaching staff and roster in the offseason. Holding out would be an even more dramatic way to make a point. Why would you hold out? But we're going to get to that. Williams has the potential to make a chaotic Lions offseason even noisier if he wants his new deal taken care of as soon as possible. Given how their books look right now, there is some genuine concern related to Brad Holmes' willingness to lock Williams up. Okay, let's get back to your original comments. So Tactical Sports says, here's my question. Both the Browns and Texans have a second round pick. Did they not see the ish show they were creating? So neither one of them cares. The Browns and the Texans do business. Okay? Just look at Deshaun Watson. The Browns are terrible. They suck, they stink, and they know it. So they're doing something to be contrary. They saw the potential that this had. Okay, just like the Deshaun Watson situation that they created, they saw the potential that this had, and they said, you know what, Texans? I'll double down on that. Okay? The Browns are a terrible organization. Okay? And they're trolling now. They thrive on sending the rest of the NFL into a tizzy. They said, we did it once with Deshaun Watson. We were the bad guy. We like being the bad guy. How will we continue to be the bad guy? Oh, I know. Thank you, Houston Texans. You just gave us an idea that we didn't have of our own, which is why we didn't do it first. But now we'll do it because you've created the outlet. Salty Pork Chops, I don't know if you're still here, but he says Miles Turner can take his spot. He is my sleeper this season. Turner is the mahogany of this draft. $5 bet on that. Turner takes Graham's spot by season's end. Graham is the center. I think you're saying Miles Frazier. Miles Turner is the center that was in Indiana. I think he just went to the Bucks. I think he went to Milwaukee to play with Giannis. But Miles Frazier, yes. I don't think he takes Graham's spot if Graham is the center and Miles Frazier is a guard. So I would say incorrect. And I don't care what happens. Jamo can't get a deal before Hutch. No, I don't think Jamo does get a deal before Hutch. Even though they did get drafted in the same draft together. Hutch was number 2. Jamo was number 12. Traded up. Tartar sauce. That must have been when we Adore K. What up though? She said, "What the f happened to Jamo? Not he was just catching some strays. He was just catching some strays." According to the NFLPA, Jameson Williams' agent has only negotiated 6 contracts since 2019. Okay, cool. Then he shouldn't be holding anything out. Do you think Tate will sign his contract? D Nice, he will sign it eventually. I'm not sure when, but he needs to sign it as soon as not possible. He needed to sign it yesterday. So whenever he signs it, it'll be overdue. All right. Lock Williams up. All right, so listen, man. I understand Jameson Williams has done some things. Let's run through the things that Jameson Williams has done. He's gotten injured, which, how dare you? He's gambled. Sorry, not even gambled. It was gambling, but here's the thing. Again, if y'all don't know what it is, if y'all never heard what it was, I will be the one to tell you. He logged in to an online casino on Team Wi-Fi. For logging into to a online casino on Team Wi-Fi, this man got 6 games. To be clear, Jameson Williams is not Malik Beasley. Jameson Williams was not gambling on sports. Jameson Williams was playing blackjack. Jameson Williams was playing the slots. Jameson Williams was doing what a lot of players do when they go to Las Vegas. It just happened to be on his phone and on team Wi-Fi. He was not betting on football, basketball, or any other sport. He was playing the slots. He's playing blackjack. Gin rummy. He was at the roulette table. Always bet on black. Shout out if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Always bet on black. I'm just going to let you know it's a movie. Okay? It's a movie. I just have one of those weird memories. There's this always the little things that will stick out in a movie. Not even the major things. It'll just be the little things that a lot of people won't catch, and I'll be the one that says it. Okay? So, Jamo, he did that. He got 6 games for that. And the NFL themselves said, that's so stupid. Let's give him 2. But they said, let's give him 2 after they had already given him, after he had already served 4. So he was immediately reinstated. Situation, a normal traffic stop with a gun that was registered. But he didn't have the proper license. And I get it. He's supposed to know the rules and the laws. He was forthcoming with the officers. It was registered. He just didn't have the proper license. He has since gone and gotten the proper license. Nothing came of the story. There was no team discipline. There was no NFL discipline. It was just some jackass at Channel 7 wanted to clout chase. Some jackass at Channel 7 wanted it to be news. Why wasn't he prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law? He used his Lion stardom, his NFL stardom, to get out of an arrest. Actually, he didn't. That's not what happened. They released the body cam footage. He wasn't out there. You know who I am. I'm Jameson Williams. Now I play for the Detroit Lions. You're making a big mistake, buddy. I'll have your badge. He wasn't doing none of that at all. He mentioned that he played for the Lions and a last ditch effort to get out of trouble because, and you could hear it in his voice. He said, I can't have this on my name because he knew that this stuff was following him around. Dan Campbell loves Jameson Williams. Amon-Ra St. Brown loves Jameson Williams. Kirby Joseph loves Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is out there in the community. Jameson Williams is out there in the streets of Detroit trying to make it a better place for the people of the city of Detroit. But Jameson Williams continues to have his name dragged through the mud. Garrett Wilson got a contract extension. Oh, I know. It's Jamo. Why couldn't Mike Luciano? I know he writes for Sideline Report, and I've never seen any of his articles before. But why couldn't Mike Luciano, who seems to not be a fan of Jamo, go write for another publication? Why is this same article not coming out about Romeo Dobbs? Why is this same article not coming out about Jordan Addison? Why is this same article not coming out about who else? Who's a young wide receiver that's coming up on a time where they can get a deal? Jameson Williams is under contract for this year, and we picked up his 5th-year option for next year. Holding out right now for a deal for what? Does your deal look better right now because you've got 1,000-yard season under your belt, or does it look better when you have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons? I'm sorry, but we need to stop this. If you are a Detroit reporter, I know that all you want is clicks and likes and people to read your stuff. Find another thing to write about, dude. I'm tired of seeing all this. Oh, well, Jamo's controversial. He's done nothing this offseason. So let's create some controversy. We've got to have a controversial article or situation with Jameson Williams every offseason. The first season he didn't provide any he didn't provide any controversy. He was hurt. The second season, even the freaking league said this is stupid. The league themselves said this is stupid. We gave this man 6 games for logging into an online casino on team Wi-Fi. Do better, Detroit media. Do much better. Jameson Williams, again, has been great on the field, and he has been a stand-up guy in the community. If you care anything about Detroit, if you care anything about your city, stop dragging this man's name through the mud. Just stop. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not warranted. This man is sitting up here getting ready to go to training camp, getting ready to try to help his team win. And now you putting this out there. Wouldn't it be funny if Jameson Williams just did decide to hold out just to make you right, Mike Luciano? And then you can just go pat yourself on the back. See, I told you, Jamo. I told you, Jamo wasn't ish. Get out of here, man. Tactical Sports says it looks better if you have an all-pro season. All right. Yes, Tactical Sport. Passenger 57. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? So everyone besides our second round pick is signed? No. The only second round picks that are signed are Cleveland's and Houston's. Or I should say Houston's and Cleveland's. Um yeah, it looks better if you have an all pro season. Here's Johnny. What up though? Uh he said got in more trouble myself last 2 nights than Jamo. What did you do? Here's Johnny. What did you do? All right. Speaking of Jamo, I guess everyone has done this topic to death, so I just want to do the ratings with you guys. I want you guys to tell me your opinion. For our team, don't really care about the rest of the league. Oh, you mean our picks? Yes. Everyone else, to my knowledge, is signed. Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my knowledge, no. That was a really dark turn, and if you know, you know. If you're into true crime like I am, then you probably know. Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my knowledge. No. Have you ever seen this woman before? Not to my knowledge, no. Have you ever had relations with this woman? Not to my knowledge, no. Okay. That's really dark. But hey, it is what it is. I told you, I just go places, man. So I can't, you know, the brain wants what the brain wants. So I want to do this with you guys. Interrogation. Yeah, but it's a specific interrogation. It's a specific one. Um, Very prolific liar and serial killer. My man's is a liar. Well, how did your DNA end up on all 12 of these women? I don't know, man. The police set me up. Bruh, the police set you up. Your DNA was on all 12 of the victims. But the police set you up. Okay. All right. I guess the police was like, yeah, put a drop in here, here. Oh, you, yeah. Saying get the eyedropper with this man DNA. This is great. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got you. You know what I'm saying? You over there? You need something too? Okay, all right. Come on, dog. All right. Let's find this wide receiver list. All right. It's execs, coaches, scouts rank the NFL's top 10 wide receivers for 2025. I said everyone has done this list, but I just want to get your feeling about this. Okay, so we have the highest ranking, the lowest ranking, and last year's ranking. Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals is ranked number 1. His highest ranking is 1. The lowest ranking is 3. His last year's ranking was 3. What do you guys believe about that? Does anyone agree, disagree? Do you think Jamar Chase should be number 1? Do you think he should not be number 1? This is a chance for you guys to participate in all of the action. This is your show. I'm just gonna sit back and see how it works. This man said, "Don't open your hotel door to a female voice at 3 a.m. for starters." She had 4 thugs with her, and they shaded the peephole. FYI, last night in Utica, Michigan. Well, listen, if for starters, if the peephole is being shaded, do not open your door. That's just, come on. Here's Johnny. That's street smarts. And you didn't know the chick through 3 a.m.? Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Hell no. And here's the other thing. What were you doing up at 3 a.m.? What's today? Today for me is Thursday. What was you doing up at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning? Come on, here's Johnny. Talking about knocking on my door at 3 a.m. You knock on my door at 3 a.m. I'm gonna be like, I got a gun. What you want? I will shoot your ass. Don't come in here. I've got a gun. I am armed and I'm very dangerous. What do you want? I'm not coming to the peephole. If you need some assistance, you better go somewhere else. You got a cell phone? Call 911. Okay? You need to go to the front desk and call somebody. Get away from my door. I'm going to start shooting. 1. If I get to the count of 3, I'm letting off through the door. You talk about you selling Girl Scout cookies at a hotel at 3 a.m. Get out my face. Chase is Neo. He is the one. Okay. Here's Johnny says facts. Title Sport. I got Justin Jefferson number 1, but I won't argue about it. Okay. They tried a key over and over and woke me up, pounded the door, and was forceful. Again, what do you want? I have a gun. You in my room? No, I'm not. Go to the front desk. I will shoot you. Understand that I will shoot you. Okay, I will shoot through the door, and whoever I hit, I hit. Get away from my door. I'm also about to call the police. I'll call the police and the ambulance so that you can get some assistance after you get hit. You know? Yeah, okay. He said did not open it. Was a setup. All right, cool. Yeah, that definitely was a setup. Oh, this is my key. No, ninja, this ain't your key. This ain't your room. You go to the next one. You ain't finna come in here. All right. So we got Jamar Chase is the one. We've got Justin Jefferson should be number 1, but you won't argue it. Okay, we'll go to the number 2, which obviously will be none other than Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings, the highest ranking was 1. His lowest ranking was 4. Last year's ranking was 1. Here's the question. Who's ranking Justin Jefferson as the number 4 wide receiver in the NFL? Justin Jefferson's ranking goes like this. 1A, 1B, or 1B, 1A. Even having him at 2 is wild. Justin Jefferson, I think people don't realize the type of ability that Justin Jefferson has. He will route you up. He will moss you. Okay? Do you not remember that catch he had against, was it Tre'Davious White when he played with the Bills? It was the Odell Beckham catch, but contested. He reached way back and caught that thing and pulled it in as he was going down. One hand on 4th down. Do y'all not remember that catch? Justin Jefferson ranked at number 4 because obviously that wasn't the official vote. But who the hell ranked that man at number 4? If you could name me 4 wide receivers in the NFL right now, currently, that are better than Justin Jefferson, or 3 that are better than Justin Jefferson, then you are on some hardcore hallucinogens. You on that LSD, that PCP. You on that lean back and rock with it. You on everything. Molly, everything. If you can name 3 wide receivers better than Justin Jefferson right now, that's crazy. If you say I can name 3 wide receivers in history, that's fine. But you can't name 3 wide receivers in the current NFL. You are crazy. Mark Garcia says J to J. Right? J to J. Jamar to Justin. Or Justin to Jamar. All right? So as far as commenting on should he be number 2, that's, if you want to go Jamar number 1, Justin number 2, I think Jamar, is slightly more of a deep threat than Justin Jefferson, but at the same time, Jamar does have Joe Burrow throwing to him, right? Justin Jefferson had Joe Burrow throwing to him in college. But it's very, very negligible. I don't see how you get I don't see how a person voted him number 4. Again, that wasn't the final ranking. The final ranking was number 2. But the fact that he put a vote in for number 4, it doesn't make sense to me. He's on some hardcore crack. Okay. And y'all had to know what was coming.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
Okay. That's obviously what that man was doing when he made this list. Okay. Or when he made that vote. Number 3, Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins. Highest ranking was 2. Lowest ranking was 8. That is a wide range. Last year's ranking was 2. Tyreek Hill, number 3. He had a down year last year. He was banged up. Tua always going to be banged up. I can't understand how anybody, now I don't know what kind of beef, what kind of bad blood, whatever it is that Tyreek had with the Chiefs and Mahomes, maybe just because they wasn't going to give him the type of bag that he got in Miami. How does anyone choose Tua over Patrick Mahomes? Not even the fact that Tua is not anywhere near the player in Patrick Mahomes. Tua can't stay healthy. Like, if you are a wide receiver, are you signing up? Are you signing up to go play with Tua? Like, you went under your own free will and signed a contract knowing that Tua Tagovailoa was going to be your quarterback for only half the season. Last year, Tua missed 6 games. And as soon as he got into the game back, he threw an interception and then threw his head directly into the corner or the DB that picked him off while he was trying to make a tackle. Tua doesn't. It's not that Tua won't protect himself. Tua doesn't know how to protect himself. Tua, you threw a pick. Now you're trying to make a tackle. Tackling's not what you do. You don't know how to tackle someone properly, clearly, as what was shown when you tried to make that tackle on that pick. So, says, well, Tyreek Hill was never going to be featured like Travis Kelce. That was never going to happen in KC. So you feel like it was an ego thing, and that's why he said, okay, well, now I got beef with Andy and Patrick, and that's why I'm going to go and sing the praises of Tua. I mean, singing the praises of Tua is what you do because Tua is now your quarterback. But again, it was only money. Because you can't tell me that a wide receiver who takes himself seriously in this league is going to voluntarily go play with Tua Tagovailoa. Not because I think Tua is mid, right? But not because he's mid, because he doesn't play full seasons. And your numbers are going to dip when you get in Skylar Thomas. I always do that. Okay. Shout out Skylar Diggins, though. If you know, you know. You're going to get Skylar Thomas or Mike White or whoever the hell the backup quarterback is over there. Tim Boyle. Like, who is it? I don't know. I have no idea why you would do that. Mr. Morale 313 says, I'm still laughing at Joe Clark. Lean on me when you're not strong. Okay, you know what I'm saying. There's certain things, you know what I'm saying. You got still got the pipes. Can't nobody sing like Eddie King Jr. Bang. Okay. uh, I got rings. Pause. Okay. I got you. Got rings. All right. So Tyreek Hill is number 3. I don't disagree. Like I said, if you put Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City and he has a competent quarterback and he's also not banged up, I think he gives you similar numbers to the last season in Kansas City. I don't think he's fallen off that much to not be number 3. So he can still be top 5. All right. Number 4 is CD Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. His highest ranking was 3. His lowest ranking was 10. I don't agree with that. Who ranked him number 10? Like who are these dudes that are out here making these lists and vote? Who CD Lamb? There are 9 wide receivers in the NFL that are better than CD Lamb. CD Lamb. Okay. I mean, I'd like to see which ones you're talking about. Which 9 are better than CD Lamb? But his final rank was 4. What do you guys think? Should CD Lamb be number 4? Is CD Lamb a top 5 wide receiver in this league? Top 5 and he's not 5. Help me out, chat. What is your opinion? Is CD Lamb number 4? Should he be? CD Lamb is playing with Dak Prescott, who is an accomplished regular season quarterback. Is Dak Prescott better than Tua? Would you rather have Dak Prescott throwing to you than Tua? I would. I feel like Dak is the kind of quarterback that people continue to crap on, but he does continue to produce. Now, here's the thing about Dak. And I'm glad Flying Hawaiian isn't here because I'm going to say something. And I don't want to, I'm not taking shots. But Dak Prescott has an interception problem just like Matthew Stafford had in Detroit. I'm just saying. But the only difference is Dak Prescott craps the bed all the way through the sheets into the mattress when it comes to the playoffs. CeeDee Lamb, you are not taking him over St. Brown. Fair. Fair. I think so. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown gets dinged because he's a 4th round wide receiver. I think that's number 1. I think because he wasn't highly drafted, that's number 1. Number 2 is because obviously he's not the explosive guy or whatever the case may be, but he's a better version of Golden Tate. Golden Tate was a beast now. Right? Golden Tate was a beast. They do have 2 different roles. Okay, but CeeDee Lamb does do work in the slot. St. Brown, the slot merchant. Listen, here's my question. Why is slot merchant a slur? If you are a slot wide receiver, is it because they're like, all right, he's only going up against linebackers and safeties. He doesn't have to go up against corners. Is that what it is? Is so they're thinking that you're always going to be open because, well, in the case of Amon-Ra St. Brown, there's not a linebacker in the league that can cover him. I don't even think Fred Warner could cover St. Brown. But it's about mismatches. It's not about if you're going to say, okay, mano a mano, can St. Brown route up the top corners in the league? I believe he can. Does he have to? Not all the time, no. If he plays in the slot, he plays in the slot. That's his position. Is Cooper Kupp not a slot receiver and he won the Triple Crown? Like, is he not a slot receiver? Are we acting like that's not true? Okay. I'm just saying. I think Jamar Chase did win the Triple Crown, right? He's not a slot receiver. But we gave you an example of a slot receiver that won the Triple Crown and an outside wide receiver that won the Triple Crown. It happens. It's okay. It's still a position on the field. Mr. Morale 313 says that is a good comp for St. Brown. Golden Tate. Yeah, Golden Tate used to get down. Golden Tate's probably more of a bowling ball than Amon-Ra St. Brown. More stout, stocky, lower shoulder, run you over. Because they run 5-yard slant routes. Okay, but if you run a 5-yard slant route, a lot of us here played the game of football. You run a 5-yard slant route and then you turn it into a 30-yard game. That's called yak. That was more your ability than the quarterback's ability. Okay, if Jamo runs a 50-yard go and Jared Goff hits him in stride, Jamo has run past everybody and he's gonna score. Did he have to navigate through any traffic to get that? No. Right? So you had one guy that you had to beat, and you're faster than him, so you're going to beat him. Right? If Amon-Ra St. Brown catches a 5-yard slant and scores an 80-yard touchdown, which one is going to be more impressive? Probably the 5-yard slant, which turned into an 80-yard touchdown, because that's 75 yards of yak. If Jamo runs down on a go route, it's a 50-yard bomb, and it's an 80-yard touchdown. That was 30 yards of coasting because he just coasted in. We've seen him do it. So, you know what I mean? Put a linebacker or a safety on St. Brown if you want to. And that's why, again, we're not going to stop going back to it until the playoffs. But that's why that play in the divisional was so frustrating, because St. Brown was open. You know, he just slipped. But slot merchant is really a stupid narrative. Facts. They said he can't beat anyone on the outside 1v1. Why not? Why can't he? Not to mention the Lions play their wide receivers close to the line for the most part anyway. St. Brown is aware he is called a slot merchant. Yes, he is aware. Just like the whole game manager thing, like, you know, I get what it means, but when the GOAT comes out and tells you your greatest responsibility as a quarterback is to manage the game, kind of puts it into perspective. But I know what it means. I know what you're trying to say if you say a guy is a game manager. Basically, you're not a playmaker. You're not dynamic. You're not doing anything that you're not told to do. And you're a guy like Trent Dilfer who is told, just go out there and don't lose the game for us. That's what people mean when they say game manager. Just don't lose the game for us. I was told Jared Goff threw a 70-yard bomb on a ball that Jameson Williams caught 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. What? What do you mean? No one ever said that. No one ever said that. I know he threw a ball 50 plus yards in the air to Jameson Williams. It's on quarterback. Go watch it if you don't remember it. It was against the Chicago Bears. It was against the Chicago Bears. The same game as the Stumble Bum. Right? Which was a very stupid name. Right? They should have called it the Stumble Rooski. Stumble Bum. What is that? What is the bum part? Oh, you little stumble bum. A bum is a butt. It's an ass. Okay. In UK English, a bum is a butt. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you what a cigarette is in UK English because I will get canceled. If you don't know, look it up. If you don't know, look it up. It starts with an F. Listen, I don't know how that word got so like how did that word how was that of a cigarette? Like it's like telling us the N word is a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? You go in Costa Rica or something. You go into Starbucks. Like, yes, are you here for a Nick? You're like, what? Hold on, what? Yeah, Nick, it's a cup of coffee. Yeah, nah, that I don't know how that one got to be. How at all. You didn't say it. Oh, I know I didn't say it, but I'm sure I know who you're talking about. And again, that wouldn't surprise me. The crazy part about St. Brown is the fact that the league knows who he is and still can't stop him from catching that pill. Jared Goff told you whenever he's in trouble, he looks for number 14. I mean, didn't they have a streak where wasn't like 30 straight receptions? Like whenever Jared Goff threw it to St. Brown, it was 30 straight receptions. It's crazy. It was the longest streak between a quarterback and a wide receiver. I don't know if it's history. I don't know. I don't know if it's in history, but it was a historic feat. I'll tell you that much. No, Goff has a noodle arm that can't play in the cold. Right. That's what they said. He said, Tate Ratlage said, I had a Royal Marine ask for one. And I'm assuming you knew what it was when he asked you for one. Because if you didn't, you'd have been like, hold up, what? What? Hold on. What? You know, them's fighting words, bruh. You be like, hold on, what? But we in prison, homie? You out here you just asking for, like that? Hold on, cuz. Tick, 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 tick. They almost made history, right? So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. All right. The top 5, since we're talking about St. Brown. The top 5 is the fifth one is a man named Brown. But it's not St. Brown. It's AJ Brown. AJ Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. The highest ranking was 3. The lowest ranking. See, now I know these people are smoking drugs. Out of the top 10 was AJ Brown. This was his lowest ranking. Someone had him as unranked. So his highest ranking was 3. Like the third best wide receiver in the NFL. And someone said, if you have him high enough that you believe he's the third best wide receiver in the NFL, well, I got to vote him not in the top 10 at all. How are these lists made and who are the people making them? Ten wide receivers in the NFL right now better than AJ Brown. Go. I wait. You know, I mean, come on, dog. I'm a Lions fan. Obviously, I do not like the Eagles. 10 wide receivers better than AJ Brown. AJ Brown is out of the list. Tell me. We're not talking about all time. We're talking about it's all time for sure. It's easy to name 10 wide receivers that are better than AJ Brown. You know, I'll give you 4 just off the top of my head: Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss. Okay, now we got to fill in 6 more. It's very simple. You might even say Steve Largent. What? But we're talking about in today's NFL. You give me 10 wide receivers better than A.J. Brown. He said I'm dead. Not putting A.J. Brown over St. Brown, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to talk about route running, hands, quickness, the skill, other than just being big and fast and strong, right? Yeah, I would say that St. Brown is a more skillful wide receiver than A.J. Brown. Okay? But A.J. Brown got routes. You know what I mean? A.J. Brown is going to punish you. Right? A.J. Brown would be closer to, and I'm not making this comparison. I'm just talking about like the body and the strength, right? And the physical toll that he's going to put on you. That would be closer to Calvin Johnson. Right? If you were a cornerback, you did not want to deal with Calvin Johnson because he was built like a freaking tractor trailer and he ran a 4.3. And he was also 6'5". That's why he was called a freaking transformer. That's why he was called Megatron. Okay? So if you're talking about similar body and physical toll that's going to go against you when you line up against this wide receiver, A.J. Brown is closer to Calvin Johnson. But if we're talking about the skill set as a wide receiver, just skill alone, hands, route running, IQ, footwork, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown over A.J. Brown. Okay? All right. Last year's ranking, A.J. Brown was 6. This year's number 6 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 6. And of course, obviously, his lowest ranking was unranked. His highest ranking was 3. So he had the same situation as A.J. Brown. His highest ranking was 3. The lowest ranking was unranked. Again, tell me 10 wide receivers in this league that are better than Amon-Ra St. Brown right now. Can you do it? I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know how you get people in a room that are so divergent. But this did say, okay, you ready? It said execs, coaches, and scouts. I'm willing to say it was an exec that said Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't in the top 10. No DB wants to try to deal with a Calvin Johnson type on Sunday. Big facts. Got to be an exec. Because a coach and a scout, they're not going to tell you that Amon-Ra St. Brown was unranked. That he was not in the top 10. All right, we'll finish up the top 10, and then I will stab out Malik Neighbors, number 7. Highest rank was number 4. Lowest rank is unranked. I would get if you left Malik Neighbors off of the list simply because he did it for 1 year. He was a rookie. That would be the only logical explanation. Okay? Not because of his talent, not because of his ability or lack thereof, because he was a rookie last season. It was his rookie season. And we've seen people have dynamic rookie seasons and then they have sophomore slumps. So that would be the only way where I would say, okay, Malik Neighbors not being on the top 10 list was anywhere justified. Number 8 is Nico Collins of the Houston Texans. He's ranked, highest rank was number 4. Of course, lowest was unranked. Mike Evans was number 9. Highest ranking is number 5. Lowest was unranked. And to round it out, Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets, highest ranking was number 6, lowest ranking was unranked. All right. Here we go. Mailbag, mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Mailbag, mailbag. Schnick, 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 mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. All right. Mailbag. How many in that top 10 are scheduled to face the Lions in 25? Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown in practice. AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. The only one that's not is Tyreek Hill. He's the only one in the top. Oh, sorry, Nico Collins and Garrett Wilson. Do we not? We don't play the Jets, right? Yeah. So Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, and Tyreek Hill. So we've got 6 of the top 10 that we have to face. If we want to count St. Brown in there during practice, that's fine. Our defense has to go up against him every day. You got to learn the words. I don't have to learn the words. Shout out Bad Boys. Yeah, that's my mailbag. I'm not learning the words. All right. Mark Garcia says, I think Nakua got disrespected. He made an inaccurate Stafford look like an all-pro last season. I'm not a Stafford fan. So I'm a rock with you. I'm a rock with you. All right, mailbag. What you think of that new Clips album? I have not heard anything. I have been on such a grind. I barely play PlayStation. I barely watch television. I barely do anything. So I can't tell you about nothing. I have not heard nothing. Nothing. So I can't give you, like, it's, for me, it is Lions, it is work, it is app development, that's it. That's all I do all day. Nothing else. Like I have to turn Call of Duty on. Shout out to me and Call of Duty. I did drop 97 kills in a domination game. So I am back to being on top of the leaderboard in the house. You know, since my kids became teenagers, you know, they started dropping more kills than me. I had to show them the old dog. You know what I'm saying? He's still got the same tricks. He's still got the same tricks. So it is what it is. Shout out to me with my 97 kills. But yeah, I do have to like force myself to do stuff just to turn my brain off. I work 7 days a week. I have to force myself on like Saturdays and Sundays to work less time. Mailbag, if you got 6 on the list, that means Jameson Williams got to show up for those games. Will he? Yes, Jameson Williams was not on the list. He was in the also getting votes section, though. So I didn't read that part, though. There were, let me see. Honorable mentions: Terry McLaurin, Puka Nakua, Brian Thomas Jr., DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams. Also receiving votes: Devontae Smith, Lad McConkey, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jameson Williams, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, and Cortland Sutton. Is there any fantasy football update? Not yet, but I will. I promise. The other app was so far gone. I just restarted it and it's looking better. If I get to the same type of bottleneck situation, I'll just screw it. And I might just start I might just start recording my shows on LNU cuz in that way they've got on StreamYard they have their own not saying that every show I'll be on the LNU platform. I'm just saying just using the StreamYard account because they have their AI clip generator, which is basically what I'm trying to create for myself. But I believe the 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 color quality and the clarity of the stream is better on mine than it is on LNU because LNU is a web-based platform. So anyway, even though it says it's 1080p, I just think the color comes better through on here. So, and I also don't have a watermark here. So nerdy stuff. But it's okay to be smart. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they tell you and where we're from. But young people, if you are watching this, it is okay to be smart. See, I had an advantage. I was smart and I would bust your ass athletically. I'm not a tough guy, but I definitely can hold my own. So, but the point was I was smart and I would bust your ass athletically. So I was faster than you. I was stronger than you. I could jump higher than you and I would run your ass over. So, and I would make you silly because I would take your ankles. I got a lot of ankles in my collection. A lot of them. I keep them in my basement. Mailbag, if the Lions lose to those 6, who gets blamed this upcoming season? You know, now that my man AG is with the Jets. So you have to figure out how they lost. Jared Goff could get the blame. The defense could get the blame. David Montgomery could get the blame by fumbling in a pivotal opportunity. It depends on how the game gets lost. You could miss a field goal. So I can't answer that one right now. It all depends. Flying Hawaii, what up, though? And way late, but what's up with Jamo? So basically, some hack named Mike Luciano of Sideline Report wrote an article about Jamo holding out now that Garrett Wilson just got his deal yesterday. So I had a whole thing. I was very righteous. So you have to go back and watch it. He said, now I know where the ankles are kept. Yes, they're kept in my basement. Broderick Martin not properly holding the clipboard is probably going to be to blame. He's not going to hold a clipboard, though. That's for quarterbacks. He's just going to sit on the bench. All right, y'all. This has been fun, as it always is, man. I love it. Talking to the chat is one of my joys. So keep it up. You guys keep me company. And also, when the chat is active, it makes the show go by a lot quicker and for much longer. It's almost an hour and a half since we've been here. So appreciate y'all once again. I'm going to go ahead and get back on this grind and get back BM movement, right? Broderick Martin. I'm going to get back on this grind outside of the house. So once again, the Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We are out. Remember, we will not be here tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. So, deuces.